Hello everyone, my name is Dudita Kuntia. I am from class 3 Stuart School, Bhubaneswar. And today I am going to tell you a very beautiful story. And that story name is Shortest History of the World. So once there was a time when no one knew about the full history of the world. And a king desired to know the whole history of the world. So he asked his minister about that. So his minister said, "Okay, this." So the minister agreed with the king, and the king gave the minister 5 years to complete that task to find the world's history. So world's full history, and the minister set out working immediately. He found many scholars. So he told the scholars about the task and gave them the 5 years time. So every scholar did their well, and then when the time came, the king saw there was a very long queue of donkeys. Then he saw that there were books, many kinds of books, and the books were just big enough to pass a pillow. And so the very very big books there, and the donkey queue, and the long queue of the donkeys couldn't the king couldn't see where the long queue of donkey ends. So he said to his minister that this they, this history is not correct. So he can't read that correctly. And then he said that as long as you will live, we couldn't read that. So he said, make another history. I will give you 3 years for that. And then they start working immediately. The scholars, the masters, they worked and worked. At last, they did the project, and now the minister was ready to give it to the king. The king saw that now still there is a very big long queue, but half a dozen queue only. So he said, "This I can't read, but I will read a little more, much shorter. I want the shortest history of the world happening now, just happening all the time with all the people of the world." So now the king and the scholars were in deep thought. At last, there came a day when the minister and the scholars did their work. So, but still the work wasn't completed. So at last the king gave them 5 months to complete that. The task was completed just on the 5th month. And then the king saw that there was a box. He opened the box. There was a small sheet of paper, very very small. And then he opened the small sheet of paper and saw only 3 lines. The world's shortest history was only 3 lines. So he read that. The first line said, "Men were born." Then second line said, "They lived." And then third line said, then they died. That means the world's shortest history is men were born, they lived, then they died. So now the king knew whole history of the world. So he was now happy, and now he was very happy. So that's the story, and now I'm going to tell you and I'm now going to tell you a joke. So that joke is a desire granted. So he says, so there was a rich old landlord who saw a young girl and wanted and dreamed of taking her as his wife. So the landlord took 5 noble men with him and went to the girl's father to ask her. So he said to the girl's father, "Yeah, can you give me a favor? I would like to marry your daughter." So now the girl's father said, "That's very nice of you, but I too want a favor." So the king said, "Okay, that will be." So the landlord said, "That will be granted." And then the girl's father said, "Stop this! Stop this immediately! I don't want to marry my daughter to you. Stop this immediately!" And the rich landlord face fell, and he did a hasty retreat. Thank you. Have a nice day.